All right, what's up, guys? What's up, y'all? Just tapping in. Wanted to share something real quick before I head into the gym. Something that's helping me out. That if you guys take on board, I'm sure it's gonna help you guys out as well. Now I know we get flooded with so much stress, so much anxiety, so many mixed emotions, sometimes negative emotions, negative thoughts, negative energies. And one thing that I've been doing lately that's really helping me combat this is just something called gratitude. I'm sure you guys have heard of gratitude, but I want you to really get deep into your gratitude. I want you to go deep with the gratitude, right? This is like a little key, a little hack that I've been doing lately, right? Whenever you get stressed or whenever you get angry or whenever you feel some type of way or whenever you're overcome by some sort of anxiety or overwhelmed by some sort of negativity, just really sit down and try to come up with 20 things you're grateful for that someone somewhere in the world doesn't have, right? And this is what I'm doing daily. I do this every morning when I wake up. I do this when I get a negative thought nowadays, and it just seems I seem to overcome whatever I'm going through at the time, right? I'll just sit down and I'll say, well, I have a job, right? Even when I'm hating my job, even if I'm not getting paid enough at my job, when things aren't going right, or when I'm not feeling it at the gym, or when I've got a phone bill coming up, when I've got grocery, when I got to do some groceries, I got to do some shopping, and I feel like the groceries are getting expensive nowadays because of inflation. I just stop and say, hey, look, man, at least I get the opportunity to buy some groceries. Someone somewhere out there in a third world country, in a place like Africa, a place like Asia, people who are living in poverty, they don't even have this opportunity, right? I wake up in the morning, sometimes I wake up mad, I wake up angry, and I say, well, I have a comfortable bed. Somewhere in the world didn't have a bed, right? Sometimes I fall out with family members, or they might say some things that anger me, or they might do some things that anger me. And I say, well, at least I have a family, and at least I have a way to connect to them, right? At least I have family to talk to. And sometimes I feel like we victimize ourselves because we don't actually realize that we're blessed in so many different ways, especially people who are living in Western countries, right? If you're living in the US, you're living in Canada, you're living in the UK, you're living in Australia, the rate of self-entitlement and privilege is astronomical, right? We live in a society nowadays where everyone wants to complain, everyone wants to talk about mental health, everyone wants to talk about depression and sadness. But the reality is if you were living in situations where you didn't have the opportunities that you have now, you didn't have the resources, you didn't have things that were so easy to come by, you wouldn't be playing the victim role. You wouldn't be as depressed, right? You would have to find other things and other means to feel happy about, right? Like, I find it funny how we think we've got all this depression, right? We think that we're suffering through all this depression, or we're suffering through all this anxiety and all this stress, we claim, right, in these Western countries. Whereas you go to third world countries where people have less than a tenth of what we have, but they don't have mental health rates as high as we do, right? Kids are in villages and they're finding the joy in the most simplest things in the village, right? They'll patch together a soccer ball made out of plastic and rubbish. I know there's a slum in Kenya called Kisumu, and those kids are joyful just to have like a football, a soccer ball, which they make out of some waste that they find. They put it together, they glue it together, and they kick it around, and they're joyful, right? Some kids in Southeast Asia, in parts of India, they're joyful just to get a meal, just to get a pair of shoes. Some people in China who's slaving away for less than a dollar a day, right? When they get that dollar, when they touch that dollar and they go buy that little rice, they're so grateful, they're so happy. They don't even have time to feel stressed and feel depressed because they're in constant survival mode. So they've programmed their mind to just understand that in order to live an easy life or in order to live a sustainable life, they have to find joy in the most simplest things. And I feel like sometimes we've become so spoiled and so entitled in the countries we live in, even for the people who claim they live a hard life in low income areas in the third world, in the Western world. You still have an internet connection. You still have an internet connection, right? You still have an internet connection, right? You still have whatever it may be called, government benefits, right? Whether it be food stamps, whatever it is, you still receive a check from the government. But there's countries in this world that have never even heard of that. People aren't even. I find it crazy how people in Western countries have this entitlement where, oh yeah, we need a government check. We need food on the first. We need a food stamp on the... There's some people in parts of the world that don't even have that privilege. They don't even know what that is. They wouldn't even believe you if you told them that the government gives money or gives a check on the first, or helps people who are homeless, or helps people who are in low income financial situations. Right? So one thing I've just realized is just write down whenever you're angry, whenever you're stressed, whenever you feel that you're depressed, or whenever you start feeling like a victim, right? Whenever you start bitching about how sad your life is or how bad your life is, just sit down for a second, right? Stop being so selfish and just understand that you're blessed. Understand that you're privileged, and just be grateful, right? Be grateful. Just say thank you. That's all you have to do. Just sit down for a minute and just say thank you. Man, I'm blessed to be in this situation. I'm blessed to have food. This may not be the food that I want. This food may be pricey. I may hate this job, right? I may not like these shoes. I may not like these clothes, but at least I have clothes, right? I may not get along with my family that way, but at least I have means to communicate with my family. At least my family isn't stuck in poverty. At least if I get sick, I can get medical attention ASAP, right? And it's just a little practice I've been doing lately, and I'm just less stressed nowadays, right? I'm less complaining, I'm less grumpy, I'm less angry, because every time I sit down and I think about what I have and how blessed I really am, I kind of feel silly for even feeling mad, or even trying to get depressed, or feeling emotional. I kind of feel like a fool. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys, man. So sometimes just stop and think. Like, is it really that bad? Is your life really that bad? Like, for real, is it really that bad? It's really that bad? Like, you going to sleep hungry tonight? You're in a war-torn place right now. That you're in a place like those people in Israel, Palestine, bombs going over your head every 5 seconds. You don't know when a bomb's gonna land on your head. You just seen a baby's head get blown off, and you seeing that every single day. You really going through some shit like that? Really? You waiting 2 weeks till you get a meal, right? You live in a village. You have no clean water. You have no access to clean water. You have no Wi-Fi connection. You have no opportunity to make something of yourself. Really? You don't live in a world where you don't live in a society or a system where there's opportunities for you to start a business and to create wealth. There's zero opportunity for you to create generational wealth. There's zero opportunity for you to have a clean bath, get some clean water, have some food, get a job, put some clothes on your back, a place to sleep, a communication line. You really going through it like that? I don't think so, right? So just take your time out, relax, and just be grateful, right? Just be grateful. Take 5 minutes. Try and do this every day. Just try and do this every time you start getting emotionally unstable. Just sit down and ask yourself, is my life really that bad, right? Ponder upon that question. Is my life really that bad? And just write down some things that you have that you're grateful for. And it just kind of eradicates the negative thoughts. It kind of eradicates the entitlement. It kind of eradicates this stress, right? It kind of eradicates this depression, right? Mental health is self-inflicted. Remember that. Mental health is self-inflicted. All right, so I just want to leave you guys with that. And yeah, remember, keep going, chase your goals, chase your journey, stay healthy, stay strong, stay focused. Manifestation plus dedication minus procrastination equals a realization of the perfect situation. And if anyone wondering, fucking explanation. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon.